Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacqueline Gibson, and I'm a professional astrologer using the whole sign house system. Today, we're looking at the astrology from October 20th through October 31st. If you have Leo rising, the Mars-Mercury conjunction is going to be happening in your fourth house on October 20th. And this is likely to bring a lot of focus to your home, your family. It could be your parents. And this could be like your geographic home, as well as like where you feel at home. So this could bring up conversations around moving. This could bring up conversations around like leases or purchasing a new home. And this could also just bring up conversations around family dynamics or something having to do with your parents. Like you might be talking to your parents, or this could bring up communication having to do with like plans that you have for your parents. If your parents are moving, if you're helping to move them, something like that. It's a good idea to just remain aware that Mercury and Mars together can indicate courage. So if there's something you've been wanting to bring up regarding your home, then it's a good idea to do this now. But you just want to be mindful that there's a potential there for like courage and bravery to become like anger and aggression. And so just make sure that you've thought through like whatever it is that you're bringing up, whatever you want to say. And if you suddenly feel like an impulse to engage in an argument with someone you care about or about something that you care about, maybe take a step back and just kind of sit with it for a minute before you continue to engage. This could also have to do with arguments with your parents or arguments with someone in your home. On October 22nd, the sun will be moving into Scorpio in your fourth house as Neptune retrogrades back into Pisces in your sixth house. So the sun is just bringing up an urge to like let go of certain things, especially things having to do with your home or your space in your home. This could also be letting go of a physical home, or this could have something to do with your parents, like helping them move or helping them to clear out their space. And Neptune retrograding back into your sixth house has to do with like your physical and your emotional well being, as well as your daily routine. So you might have had like some goals that you had set where your health is concerned or where your work environment is concerned, and you might not have achieved them and you're feeling like sort of disillusioned. Neptune can kind of lead to having really high expectations and then feeling really let down when those things don't come to pass. So just remember that the purpose of having like those high expectations is like to have a goal, but it's not so that you can set yourself up for an unattainable goal. So maybe just like reevaluate some of those things that you had hoped to attain and separate them into like manageable pieces versus like this great big ideal that, you can't get to tomorrow, but what can you do by tomorrow? Like breaking it into smaller tasks that can be done right away to help you get towards whatever your ideal is. On October 24th, the sun in Scorpio is square to Pluto in Aquarius in your seventh house. So this can look like something having to do with home or real estate or home purchases or moving, causing some type of challenge in your one on one relationships. So this could look like just some type of tension that has to do with like your partner or your person or someone you're in a one to one conversation with, and your physical home. That could also be around your parents. Like if your parents come to visit and you're married, there could be some challenges where that's concerned. Or this could be about where you actually live. Like if you're in a long distance relationship, some of the issues around that might be coming up now. So you just want to keep in mind that this can be processed mindfully and this can be processed in a way that's like considerate to all involved, because it is a challenge aspect and because Pluto usually represents something very intense or very intense to you or very intense to the other person involved. So it's not something you can just dismiss and walk away from, but you can always stay, in a place of compassion and consideration versus becoming escalated. On October 24th, there will also be a trine between Mercury and Jupiter from your fourth to your 12th house. So this indicates that there might be like some type of surprise, but likely a positive surprise that's coming from either your family of origin, the people that you consider family in your home right now. So like if you live in a home with roommates or whatever, this is like a surprise at your home. This could be surprising news, like maybe somebody is moving out or someone has made some type of significant change, but it's a surprise to you. So this is just about the conversation around that. And then on October 25th, there's a trine between Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. And so this just kind of brings some structure and some balance to those conversations. Like Saturn is there to, manage time frames and put in practical plans and discuss boundaries, things like that. So it kind of starts with this surprise issue or something that's coming that you didn't know about, like a secret revealed. It doesn't have to be anything negative, but just something revealed to you. And then Saturn is like the planning that goes into whatever managing, the other event is about. So because Saturn is in your 8th house, this can look like a partner's money, some type of financial investment, an inheritance of some kind. It could be that, like, for instance, if a roommate has gotten some type of inheritance, they're going to be purchasing their own home, so they're moving out. Or this can look like, this could be even like a short-term move. Like if somebody is going away to like a rehab center or, to get some type of medical attention, because like insurance benefits would be other people's money. That's like collective money. So someone's, funds may have come through and now they're able to do something that they had planned or that had been stalled before. And so now they're moving forward with that. And this could be you or somebody in your home. But the transit is about that discussion. On October 27th and 28th, Mars will move into a trine with Jupiter and Saturn. So this could look like just feeling brave or feeling assertive. So whatever news had come up in the past couple days, now you're feeling a little bit more brave about moving forward with whatever the plan is around that kind of surprising news. It could just be that it's not necessarily like it was completely out of the blue for you, but the timing is the piece that was unknown to you. So maybe there's been discussion about a thing having to do with change, having to do with your home, having to do with investments or inheritance or something like that. Like you knew it was out there, but you didn't know that whatever this change is, that it was coming right now. And so perhaps when you first heard about it, that was something that might have thrown you off. That's what led to, some planning and some discussing. And then now you're just kind of feeling more brave and it's time to move forward. So having taken the time to plan, you're likely feeling more comfortable with whatever the plan is and more comfortable around taking action around that. On October 29th, Mercury moves into Sagittarius and forms an immediate opposition with Uranus in Gemini. Mercury is currently in your 5th house and Uranus is in your 11th. So this can look like some type of conflict having to do with your romantic life or your romantic pursuits and your social groups. So it might be that like someone you've just started seeing isn't interested in whatever you're engaging with socially with friends, or vice versa. It can look like your friend's not being interested in a romantic partner. This could also just look like changes in your children's lives that's causing some type of disruption with your social group or your friend group. So it's just a good time to like practice open communication around this. Someone in this situation is feeling like super surprised by whatever's going on. They're feeling like this is like a big shock to them. So even if it isn't necessarily to you, you can practice being considerate and compassionate as you engage in conversations of like what this is going to look like moving forward.